Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. This is just going to be a review of like a very basic markup, how I would trade. A lot of you guys, I know I have been doing these beginner friendly indicator only rule based type of strategies because that was so heavily requested by you guys. Just trying to get into the markets, becoming profitable, and having a set strategy plan. A lot of you had requested that. So I had been working with doing that, but that takes so much time for me, and a lot of back testing data needs to be collected and done to have that done correctly. But a lot of you have been asking about how to just do basic technical analysis. And I love technical analysis. You guys know I do. For those of you who want to just be using technical analysis more and focusing on your markups and that, then I wanted to just show you guys like how I would do a simple markup and then decide what to do afterwards. So as of right now, there's actually not an entry that I'm interested in, but I do want to show you guys how I would decide this. So what I see happening here in the market is basically you had a ton of consolidation. That's pretty clear for you guys to see. I'm going to turn off my chaos channels because I don't want to confuse you guys. But basically, when you're looking for consolidation zones, this is what you're looking at. You had consolidation happening. This is a very quick, rough markup, but you guys get what I'm saying. Consolidation. A little bit of a breakout from it. Lots of testing of this price up here. So this created another little zone. And then you have it come back down and again, creating another area, another zone here that where price was being tested. So pretty clear to see where price had come down here. It retested all of this area and price was up in this area, testing where price was here. So that's kind of what we're looking at right now. In this current market, you know, this is kind of a little wishy-washy as to what's happening because price is just loving this area. So whether it's truly in this zone testing it or whether it's just kind of bouncing around. So in this current market right now, this is not something I would take a trade on. A lot of you know that I do like to do zone to zone. So a lot of you would be like, hey, you had a breakthrough. Would you take this sell? And you could. This is an actual potential sell that you could have taken when you break through here. So it would look something like this. That's how I would do that if I was trading at that style. This here is your LMI is red and your TSI is crossing in a downward position. So that would be like your sell position. I don't particularly love this. Oh, let me change it. Because you would actually be doing like a one. You want at least a 1-to-1 or so, but you would just be right above that area. And when you look to the left, you can see like that makes sense. So that's like how that would look. However, I'm not really convinced that this is a bearish market, although that is the trend because of the way that the market looks. So this is where some of the technical analysis looking into the actual candle formation and market structure helps you guys. So yes, the zones are marked off correctly. That when you're trading a breakout, that makes sense. However, you have failed here to make a new lower low, and market structure hasn't really been established yet. So what I'm waiting to see is if it will do it here. If it does it here, then great. We're looking for a bearish market. However, we haven't had that done yet. So I'm not really sure if I want to buy or sell yet. So what I do when I'm not sure exactly what I want to do yet, and I'm just kind of eyeing up things, is I draw my trend lines. So draw your trend line, kind of get an idea for what's happening. I do think that the wicks are important because that's testing that price. So I do draw those. I do include them. So as of right now, you're pretty much just testing right where, if we're including where market is right now, you're kind of testing right there. So I will draw it like that. If we break that line, then I would be more interested to see it. But I'm thinking we're actually going to be rejecting off of it based off the way the market's been going. And once we break through this level, then I know that we are looking for actual buys. So what I'm waiting for is somewhere in this area between the resistance line that is drawn here and the trend line that is drawn, this wedge that we're creating, all in this area that's circled. Somewhere in here, I'm waiting for the market to come up and break through that. Once it breaks up and moves up like that, then I'm going to enter my trade and I'll take my buy position. So hypothetically, pretend it does this, and this is how it will look. I would put my stop loss just under my trend line and I will target my next area of major resistance that I've marked off according to my support and resistance zones, and that's what that would look like. I haven't actually gotten the market there yet. This is like kind of a rough markup of what it would look like, but this is what it would look like. It would be a 1 to 2, so you're risking 1%, gaining 2%, potentially roughly in that area. Like I said, depends where the candle's closed. You're only trading it at close of candle, but that's what we're waiting for to happen. So what you can do in this event, if you're somebody who can't wait around all day long, is just set a price alert. You guys can do this. So somewhere in this area, you're waiting for price to break this little line that we've marked. You can hit here when you right click it, hit add alert on horizontal line, and then you can add your alert in. So once per bar close, because you want to do it when the candle closes above the line, not just when it touches it. And horizontal line, all that is good. Create your alert however you want to be alerted, and you will just create your alert. So now when price actually breaks that line, I'll get the alert. And then I know to look quickly at my chart, set my trade the way I want it to be set. I'm going to leave this marked up like this because this is very easy to just adjust, you know, when the actual trade hits that price point, depending on where the actual, you know, candle closes, I can adjust. And then, you know, figure out whether risk and reward makes enough sense for me to take that trade or not. And then I'll enter it. So that's kind of what we're waiting for to happen. Price is kind of pressing right now. You guys can see it's getting close. Let me remove all this so you can actually see. But you can see that's kind of what price is doing now. It's getting ready to push up through there. So hopefully we'll get that notification while I'm on here. That would be lovely. So that way I can actually take this trade for you. It's going to play games. That's okay. So it is the 5-minute chart though, so it should go pretty quickly. And we still have 3 minutes left in this candle, but I can always fast forward it on here. I will make this go quickly for you. All right, so I'm probably going to do that and just let this play out and see what happens. So I'll let the video run. You guys can wait and watch and see how this plays. And then I'll show you how me actually entering the trades and all that other stuff. I am in 2 other trades, just FYI. So when I do show you my screen, 2 of those are running. Please ignore those. I will probably even blur them out to just not confuse you guys. But yeah, those are 2 other trades running for 2 separate different things, different strategies and stuff. I don't want to overcomplicate this video for you. I want to keep it very like this is just how you would do it if you want to draw support and resistance and you want to use trend lines. And then maybe you have indicators or something that you use as an extra confluence to help confirm whether you want to buy or sell or whatever. But yeah, this is what we're kind of looking at right now. So for right now, we're just waiting for it to break that area of marked off resistance. Okay, guys, I'm going to quickly say something because this looks like a hot mess. I know it looks like I just did graffiti all over my chart, but I am sitting here watching it, like answering back messages, and I want to show you guys something. I was just marking it up. I was trying to be quiet through it, but I feel like I need to explain this because I'm going to lose some of you. So what I was showing you guys here on the 5-minute chart, let me get rid of it all, and I will re-show you clearly because I know that I'm going to lose a lot of you guys on it, is that I know a lot of people who have really fallen in love with divergences, I myself love them as well, are going to be like, hey, there was a divergence there. Why wouldn't you look to sell? Because there was a hidden bearish divergence. There was. And the hidden bearish divergence has played out. As you can see, the market did drop and it came down. And that's what came back in and tested. Hidden bearish divergences doesn't mean that the market's going to drop forever. It is just a signal to potentially look out for. I would only trade divergences when you have other confluences telling you to take that trade. And if you had taken this trade when the divergence had happened, you would have had a nice drop here. You would have gotten a nice some 26.7 point drop, which is great on a 5-minute time frame. That's not bad at all if you were just scalping through. But what I was showing you on the 15-minute that you guys saw me mark up, so these little guys here are our divergences showing you a hidden divergence. What I'm showing you on the 15-minute time frame is it doesn't happen on the 15-minute time frame. So try to remember this when you're looking at technical analysis. Use your other time frames to help you understand what's happening in the overall trend. I know you want to stick to one time frame. A lot of you want to do that. It's easier for you to understand. But understand this. When you are trading the 1 minute, the 3 minute, the 5 minute, anything like those smaller time frames, they are so easily manipulated by price, especially when it comes to, well, any pair actually, but indexes especially. Banks have the power to manipulate those prices a lot more than they can when it comes to the higher time frames. So using a higher time frame to give you an overall idea of what's actually happening, it's very important. My advice, if you find a divergence and you're not sure and you feel like it's conflicting with what your overall thought of the market and what it's really doing is mark up the divergence, but look at a higher time frame. Bump up to the 15, see if it's happening. It's not. It happens here in price, but it does not happen here on your indicator that you're using to help verify the divergence. When you look at the 1 hour, it doesn't happen on price and it doesn't happen on your indicator. So it's not worth using. So forget about that divergence. Just know that it did work. This smaller hidden bearish divergence did work. It happened here, and that was your move. You probably don't need to do it anymore. Here is our alert. Oh, let's take our trades. Okay. So I'll show you guys. It just came through on my phone just now as well. We might miss it because the recording is going to take a little bit. Okay. Here we go. So we're going in. We are going to trade. Like I said, you're going to see other 2 trades that I'm in. Please ignore them. We are going to, let's see, I'm recording my screen. But let's see what we want to do. Price did, oh, I'm drawing for you. Oh, all right, let's move it over. So price did close just about here. And this is where I'm going to enter right now. Okay, so you guys can see I just bought there. I'm going to go in and enter in all of my stuff. So as far as stop loss goes, I still do want to stay under my identified trend line, and I do want to target this zone here. I'm just double checking that I actually like it because I really did mark that up pretty quick. So yeah, I'm okay with that. It's just like really looking, guys. I actually like it up here a little bit more. So probably going to go a little bit above it. I'll move this so I don't confuse you guys. And that'll give me a 1 to 3.2 risk to reward for right now, which I'm good with. So we'll do that. And as far as I can tell, like, you know, we've already came here. We came to retest our trend line. Hopefully we'll just continue to go up. That's my thought process. Let me get rid of this divergence so you don't get confused. And all this stuff so you can see. And as far as like indicators go, everything's signaled for you to go in here as well. So your LMI and your TSI are confirming as well. So if you're looking for those extra confluences to know that your actual technical analysis was correct, you were. You had your TSI crossing and your LMI did turn green up here as well. So you guys can see there. That happened all on your buy signal. So yeah, you're good there. So you can take that trade. I'll move it over so you guys can see where we're at. And let me just enter in all of our stop loss take profit numbers. So stop loss 35, 4, 6, 7. And take profit. Just a fun side note, I'm the worst at these. I must look at these numbers like 20 times to make sure they're right. I always like have to double check myself because these numbers be flipping. I'd be putting in the wrong numbers and I'm like, what? So double check yourselves. If you're like somebody who tries to put all this in before you take the trade, don't be too nervous. Take the trade. If you, I mean, you still have a little bit of time on the 5 minute too to get your numbers in. Just take the trade and then make sure you go back and enter your number. But take time entering your numbers. Don't freak out like, oh my God, my numbers. Like some of you guys do panic about that. And you want to make sure you're taking your time to enter them correctly. 35,525. 35,525. Okay. Okay. Oh God, I flipped them. See, I'm talking. I'm not paying attention. 35,480. All right. See, I did it. You know, this is what I'm saying. My goodness. All right. 35,525. There we go. See, man, that's what I get. Pay attention to what you're doing. That's why I don't like trading. I'm a mess. All right, you guys. So that's running now. And we're just going to kind of set that and let that go. If this comes back down, because you guys know I like to stack my trades, I will show you how I do that. This is one of those scenarios where I would not stack twice. And the reason is that this just isn't that great of a risk to reward. My stop loss is 25 points, but it's not really, I mean, that's not horrible, but it's not the best. If this comes back down, though, to retest, the market comes and retests this area here. If it comes down, comes back down to retest, make more of this wedge situation, retest again, then I would look for another position when I see another confirmation saying it has rejected off of the trend line. Then I would take a second trade here. This second trade that I would take here, I would then look to target a take profit 2 zone, which would be up here. So hypothetically speaking, the market does this. And the reason I'm saying that is because by that point, if this happens, say it comes and bounces and breaks through this wedge and does all this wedge, right? And breaks through a little bit. And we're looking for our second trade to look something like, let's say it would look something like this. And then this would be our stop loss down here. The reason I would like that is because of a couple of reasons. One, the second trade would be my first trade, because this first trade would be running risk-free at that point, because as you can see, the market would be in profit. So I would be okay with that. The second reason I really like this is I'm getting a much tighter stop loss. So even if I lose, not a big deal. I would only be risking around 12 points or so. Like I said, this is hypothetical, but roughly that's what the markup would look like. And my reward obviously is a crazy great reward. So that's a really nice trade that I would take. I would want it to run to the second take profit, not just up here, because, that's just the way that stacking works. That's the point of it, is taking multiple trades. Obviously, if it got way too late in the day, the market wasn't moving, I was in profit on both trades, I would close them both out before going into the next market, most likely, unless I was risk-free, meaning that I was in profit and I could then move my stop loss to break even and safely trail it along on my second trade. I'm probably talking too much and confusing you guys with that, because this is all hypothetical stuff right now. But a lot of you guys ask, like, at what point would I take my second trade? I would not take it here. Even though the market and the volume looks fantastic, I'm not going to stack on this particular trade. I don't think it's worth stacking on. This is just me looking at the market and analyzing what's happening. So, if I don't love the analysis of it and I don't love the risk to reward situation, then I'm not going to risk taking 2 trades with it. What I do love, though, is like this trend line, getting that nice tight stop loss on a second potential trade. Like I said, say it comes and breaks around there, and I can set my stop loss super tight just under that trend line and potentially get a 1 to 5, like that's now 1 to 10. That's not right. 1 to 5. It was like around here. But yeah, it's something like that, guys. Like I said, that would roughly kind of be like what it would look like. That's a fabulous situation of what you would be trading if you could potentially get that in a second trade. At that point, risking those 12 points is not a big deal, because your first trade would be in profit and your second trade would be such a small stop loss and the reward would be really good. So that's when I will stack. You will notice sometimes when I stack that I do close them all out at the same time. And that's just because I don't want to hold through another session and be thinking about trades running. That is up to you guys to decide once you get to that point. But as far as executing the trades and taking them, I only will stack them when I know that I have a good situation like what I'm talking about here in this hypothetical scenario that I made up for you. But yeah, so that's kind of how I do it. But as you can see, the market is kind of taken off right now. So if it continues up, I'm just going to end up hitting my take profit, and this will just be a one trade situation. So I'm just kind of talking it through with you guys while it runs. But yeah, this is how I would do it if I was just using technical analysis. So as you guys can see, this is where the trade's going right now. We're getting really close to take profit, but that was a pretty bullish move there. So we may have a little bit of a retracement here or a little bit of sitting around until we actually hit the take profit. But this is how I would mark it up if I was just doing some very basic technical analysis, not relying so heavily on indicators. I know I've had a lot of videos up like that in the past, and that's because that's what you guys have requested, a lot of beginner friendly things. But for those of you who are more intermediate or are looking to stay more on the technical analysis side and just wanting to trade for yourselves using like this zone to zone or trend lines, this is how I would do it. I'm not a big 5-minute time frame person, but 5-minute time frame can be nice for this sort of thing where you're just bouncing between zones and trading from zone to zone and trading the rejection off of it. So yeah, guys, this is it. So I will just allow this to run, and fingers crossed we hit take profit soon, and I don't have to have you waiting through too long of this video to watch that. But as always, if you guys have questions, leave a comment below. I'm happy to answer, or if you're part of the Discord, you can always ask in there as well. If you are interested in the indicators that I am showing here, the BJTSI is a free indicator. You can get that on here. You just come into indicators, and it is, oh God, I'm going to butcher this, Bejorum TSI. That is who has it. So if you just type that in, Bejorum TSI, it'll come up like that. And then the LMI indicator is a Pip Hunter indicator. That is what you guys are seeing here, the Pip Hunter one. That is a paid indicator. That is available, this indicator up here, that is available on the Perfect Entry Discord group. So that's linked below in the description box. So that comes with the membership to Perfect Entry. I mean, you guys can see I didn't really heavily rely on the indicators. They're more so my like thumbs up after I've already made my decision. They're like, yeah, Christy, good idea. Keep going with what you were thinking. So those are the two indicators that are on here. Otherwise, support and resistance lines, you guys will draw up yourself. Trend lines you'll draw up yourself. So, you don't really need the indicators for this strategy. But if you do like to have that little bit of extra confirmation that you're right in your analysis, then those are available for you to use as well. But for those of you who don't like indicators, you just want to trade off of like the price action idea of this and the technical analysis marking up, this is definitely your version then. So we'll just sit here and wait for this to run through. And at the very end, I will show you guys when we hit take profit. Hopefully we don't hit stop loss. I don't think we're hitting stop loss. This is pretty good looking. So, but hopefully we don't come back down to the trend line because that's going to be a long video. But if we do, I will show you how I would stack this then. Because if that's the case, we're going to take a second trade. I will stack and I'll show you how that looks. So let's just see what happens. But I'll check back in with you guys. Okay, so looks like we're going to hit take profit soon. I'll show you. Let me pull my screen. Sorry, guys, answering messages back while this running, but we have some really nice rejection wicks that are happening. You can see them here. Now that this candle's closed, great rejection, great, really good rejection, another good, rejection wick closing as a bullish candle. So we're going to hit take profit. It depends how long it will take. So I'll pull up my screen. You guys can see where we're at. And hopefully in the next candle or two we get there. But, you know, the market is what the market is. It loves to take its sweet time, especially when I record. Because I feel like I'm like you guys. I'm sitting here staring at it. And I'm not used to doing that. So now I know how you guys feel when you're like, come on, hit take profit. But yes, okay. So yeah, it looks like we'll get there. So here we are. So this particular trade is in profit, $310-ish or so. And like I said, ignore my other ones. Those are different trades I'm in for other reasons. But yeah, this particular trade, if you had done this type of markup where you did the wedge, did your zones, did a breakouts, you know, you would be in profit right now if you took this trade. So it looks like we will get a winner out of this. It's just waiting for the market to stop playing games. And I'll just let this run because I think we're getting pretty close now after looking at those rejection wicks. So, okay, we'll just keep going. Woo! And we got it. We got it. I was like staring at this just now. And I was like, come on, come on. So anyway, we got it. So the trade has closed out. And you guys, I mean, you saw it just hit there. I will take you over to the screen to show you guys. Please ignore my NASDAQ negative there. Just pretend you didn't see that. I accidentally took that trade, but like went to go slide over. Like, you know how you guys slide over? I'll show you one here. Now you slide over. And I hit the check bar. I'm not going to hit it now because I don't want to close out. I hit the check bar instead of like the edit bar where you're like editing your take profits. And yeah, so I closed out literally as I placed that trade, which was super annoying. So that's how I would do this. You guys are always asking me, like, how would you do it on a 5-minute time frame if you're marking things up, or any time frame, guys. It is not time frame specific. This very basic idea of just marking up a support and resistance area and then analyzing the market using like a trend line wedge system or a rejection or a breakthrough. It works on every single time frame. I promise you, it doesn't matter. A lot of you like to be in and out of the markets within a relatively short period of time. So you guys can see, you know, for the day, I closed out that trade at $454.65. And that was a whole, let's see, we entered here. So we had 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Within 45 minutes, we made that. So, I mean, that's like pretty good. I don't really know many jobs that pay you like $454 in less than an hour. So that's pretty solid. And truthfully, if the market didn't want to play so many games here, you probably would have gotten it faster, but that is what it is. And you guys, obviously, risk management is always up to you. So I'm not suggesting risk management here. You could have closed out a portion of this trade and let it run to the next take profit area. You just keep kind of crawling along. Look back to the left, see where the market was. And, you know, this is just how you would do it. Like, that's exactly what I do. You guys are always asking what I do. Once it hits one zone, think where the next area is going to be. The next one would be there. Then the next one would be here. And you have another one all the way up here. So, like, that's how you would do it. Do yourselves a favor, though. Don't go in and mark them all up like this, because this just looks crazy and you get yourselves overwhelmed. Go one at a time, maybe two above at a time, just so you have an idea where they're going. But don't put all of them on at once. I like to personally just look at like 4 at a time. I find that's easier for me to focus on. So that's where we're at right now with the trading stuff today. So this particular trade is the only one I wanted to show you guys. Like I said, the other ones that you saw running, you know, which are in profit, and I'm still doing well with those today, are different strategies, different things, and I don't want to confuse you, but as far as just a basic wedge, how to enter in when you see something like that happening, this is how I would do that. So hope that was helpful for you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.